All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is your favorite dark sorcerer here, and tonight I want to talk about complete dedication to research and the frustrations that really come hand in hand with them, with it, because of the fact that it's in some cases it is literally like slamming your skull against that proverbial concrete wall. And it's literally true. Early this morning I was communing with a friend, brother, and fellow practitioner, and a challenge was put forth. And of course, as an Aries, I accepted for 100 days working with a certain group of spirits, entities, and high ranking devils, demons, or whatever you want to call them for spirits. And because I've been working with the a specific kind of spirits for the better part of the year, I did a lot of research over the last year, about a year and a half. And here we are, you know, what is this, August now? So yeah, about 8 months, you know, into the second year. After dedicating my life and my practices to the Mazajira and getting into the complete research mode and practice and setting up the altar and all this other fun stuff. Not just communing with them, but literally delving into their history. Each individual spirit's background. I found a few of them already, and the knowledge that I gained from it was spectacular throughout folklore, throughout um, European traditions. But lately, since I've been working with Zashira over the last few months, this is something that I found to be very enlightening, but also frustrating. You know, it took me. I started getting interested with Zashira last year. Zashira, the Witches of the Depths, even the Hag of the Pit. Okay, namely because according to the scripture and the mythology, the witches are in the deepest pits of the underworld, and they are completely dedicated to furthering and studying the mystical and magical arts. Hey, Shelley. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that these individuals um, look forward to on a day in and day out basis, I guess you can say. And I'm not saying that time and space and all that stuff is even relevant where they are, because for all we know, it's not. Okay. In some cases, time and space seems to be different in the spiritual nexus in the void than here. Now, those of us who have an altar room and in a sanctuary that we can walk into and perform rituals know that. I mean, I've gone in and to me it's been just a few minutes and it's actually been like 2 3 hours. So time and space does have its separation points between going into a nexus or a spiritual realm and being in the physical reality. But in this case, it took me a long time, and I ended up staying up until like 3 a.m. and communing with a brother of mine that's out of Texas. And we started thinking about languages, the old alphabets from systems that don't use the same lettering status, all that fun stuff. And then we started seeing the connections between other spirits, and we started going into that and just brainstorming and playing off each other until we finally found this one spirit. Now, knowing this and understanding what the individual spirit is about, that's one thing. Okay. And don't worry about it, Judy. I'm replying to you either way. So, I mean, that's what the cell phone's for. So, I mean, it's kind of funny because of the fact that I understand where Sashira is coming from. I know what she's about and what the information is speaking of when it comes to her. Okay. But there's one word, just one word out of that entire paragraph, that entire depiction and classification that's got me completely baffled. Not joking, baffled. Okay. And according to this, it's called the Khan Ah Kana Rahan. Kanahrahan. Okay. I mean, vile black magic, evil magic, destruction, death. This stuff here, anybody who practices destruction rituals or painful sorceries can tell you exactly what that entails. But this one word I have yet to find any classification on. I have typed it in every which way I can possibly think on Google. Okay, I have used the little mic section. I have spoken it. What does it mean? I've gone through different languages, different regions of the world, and I have yet to come across this one word and its meaning. Hey, Holly. So I mean, this is something that's very, very interesting to me. And it's like I can sit there and work with just about any spirit. Okay, just about any spirit. And just, I can draw the seals, the sigils, invoke them, give them offerings. I can give them, sacrifices. I can do devotions, devotional rituals and rites to them. The whole king caboodle until I'm blue in the face. But sometimes, just sometimes, there is one to two things that will catch your attention, and it's just going to drive you up a wall. Okay, it's just going to drive you up a wall. And this one word has been driving me up a wall now for like 3 months, and I still have no freaking clue what it means or what even it's about. You know, I mean, just noticing the description, black, evil magic, destruction, death, and black magic. That's something to do with death magic, curses, hexes, jinxes. Just about everything that you can think of, even hindering your opponents or making ill or sick or just eliminating. Whatever. That's what black magic is. That's what vile magic is, and it's also about personalized gain as well. But Kana Rahan, I have no clue what that is. And it literally, it sounds just like a place. However, once enraged, invoked for black magic or within the Kana Rahan, bloody hellfire smoke erupts from her eyes and mouth. Now, the only thing I can think just from this one sentence, the only thing I can think is that it has something to do with a vortex. Because there are descriptions within numerous different pantheons, different classifications of spirits, that they're able to have some form of vortex that opens up. Gargoyles, you know, suck in the evil to chase it away or to prevent it from harming something on church grounds or whatever, because they're known as protectors and guardians, just like demonic entities. But there are also classifications of beings that are out there that I've come across that have some form of power, something erupts or emits from them, almost like a radiation of sorts that will penetrate you, in ways like daggers. Like, say, for an example, you have to have a silver ring held close to your face, when dealing with Amma Ayman or Astaroth, because of the breath is so foul that it would be like millions of razor blades, just piercing your skin and ripping it to shreds, you know. So I mean, and then you have those that like the Sphinx or the Phoenix that erupts into flames when infuriated and set loose, almost like a wildfire. And depictions are the glowing eyes, the flames shooting from, you know, the eyes and the mouth and the body. But then if you go into Dante's Inferno, you've also got the imagery of Leviathan with his mouth wide open and the flames of hell emitting putrid sulfur from his mouth. Okay, so it's almost like a gateway or a portal. So just within this one sentence, invoked for black magic or within the Kanahan, Kana Rahan, bloody hellfire smoke erupts from her eyes and mouth. Now, I'm more inclined to think it's something to do that's similar to that of Leviathan from the hellfire, you know, like a gate or a portal, because a lot of cultures literally speak on a doorway or a gate to the city of the gods. So, I mean, there is a lot of classifications here just within this one paragraph. And I'm looking at it from about two to three different perspectives here. Number one, I've got a PDF that is describing her, but also in a book that is describing her as well. So I'm wondering, because she's associated with necromancy, witchcraft, death magics, and all this stuff, I'm wondering if it has something to do with that. But yet, so far, I haven't come across anything. Yeah, all my videos are live, Lohan. So you can probably download it when I'm done with it, but or even share it to wherever you want it to go. But yeah, there's a lot of things because lately, just over the last couple of over the last couple of nights, I've started moving up the ranks between Zashira and Zazazel, the buried king. And I started working with Valo Lil, the weaver of flesh, and most importantly, to Bryn, the weaver of time. Now, the plan is to get acquainted with all of the lords and ladies of the Tower of Atropi. And as I was talking with my friend last night, my brother, my friend, and fellow practitioner, when this challenge was put forth, you know, with everything going on right now and what I'm getting into, what I've been doing as of late, this is a perfect time for this challenge to be put forth. And like I said, it's dealing with one set of spirits, just one classification of spirits, and getting to know them, working with them to understand them and become closer to them, forming that bridge, that relationship with them. So, I mean, there is a lot of benefits to working with them. And in this particular tower, there's quite a few spirits. So it will take me probably about 100 days to go through all this. But more so, the Aries in me is actually excited. I have to say that right off the bat here. I am definitely excited to begin this journey and this working. Now, while studying to Bryn, I also came across a different one, Tenebrion, the Lord of Darkness. And it was funny because the Prince of Dark Knowledge is what you said, Loan. And it was funny because I came across this being, and it this spirit actually goes great with necromancy, and most importantly, Zazazel himself. So, I mean, furthering the study into this aspect is going to be a great path working to do and to get into, and to begin the journey and knowledge from that each one of these spirits has to offer to learn and to grow within this path working, this root working. So, well, and Judy, hearing something about a door or portal. What's ironic is portals can come in any shape and size. Down in, I want to say it's Brazil, if not Inca province, there's actually a wall that is a depiction of the city of the gods. Now, I forget the name of it offhand, but there are classifications of doorways that can be opened and you can actually journey to the city of the gods. You look at just about every major grimoire tradition out there, from, say, for an example, let's go with Edward Kelly and Dr. John Dee. One was an astrologer, the other was a medium, a chiromancer. He worked a lot with divination. Now, when these two got together, they actually unlocked a door to the Celestials, and they ended up with the Enochian system. Okay, and this has only been spoken of maybe 2 to 3 times throughout human history. You go into the Black Raven, also known as the threefold coercion of hell, and you're going to find seals and circles that are representations of doorways or portals. Okay, even in the Munich manuscript, or even, say, for an example, Hermetics or Kabbalah systems. Okay, the Golden Dawn even works with a lot of symbols, a lot of seals. You look at the clavicle of Solomon. You look at the planetary seals, okay, which are said to not only open up a portal, but to invoke a spirit, literally trapping them in there until you're done with them. It's kind of like utilizing a rod of power through the Grand Grim War, basically threatening them to either do what you tell them to do, or, you know, internal damnation. Now, personally, I do not concur with that aspect because I literally believe solely on working with them one on one and on equality. Working with them as equals. It's more of that humbleism and of necromantic teacher versus apprentice. Okay, every tradition has a master and an apprentice. It's a matter of humbling yourself and learning from them. Okay, letting them teach you and to guide you. It's all right to become devoted to them, to show devotion, to gain guidance from them. And it's even better to know that there are things that you can contribute to their cause. Okay. So there are a lot of things that you can do, but there is also a lot of classifications on doors and that of portals. Hell, even Lovecraft was said to have opened a portal into the wastelands, okay, and ended up communing with the ancients, okay, these ancient gods. In a way, this root working that I'm taking under right now is something that is very, very cool. It's in the same mannerism, and I am definitely looking forward to that. So I actually started delving into this research mode this morning before work. Now you try getting up an hour before work, have to get cleaned up, get something to eat, and delve. You get your altar room ready because you're thinking maybe later you'll get into that. And which so far it's 10:47 p.m. and I still haven't gone in there. You know, I sat here for probably 15, 20 minutes, read and studied, jotted down a whole bunch of information on these three individuals, and then went to work. And since I've been home, I've been hitting the books straight forth. Complete research, devotion to research. And like I said, hitting your head against that proverbial wall, which I don't recommend doing, you know, reality wise, because that's just going to hurt like hell. At least this way, you're going to get frustrated. You're going to end up getting a migraine from the stress of trying to find what these some words mean or trying to find some deity. In this case, I found I already know about four of the entire um, tower. You know, the witches of the vile witch Zashira. Already know where she's from. She's actually into a lot of different systems, ranging from Africa all the way up into Greece, Roman, Middle Eastern traditions. But Timbren and Valolil, something new, trying to figure out where they come from while trying to figure out this one word that has been hounding me like a bad rash for like 4 months. It's really starting to become irritating because I have not yet figured it out. But the more I read it, the more I study it, that's exactly what it sounds like to me. It's some kind of vortex or doorway, maybe even a gate. I don't know. Maybe it's a type of realm within the hells, or even Karaktis. I don't know. I mean, Buddhism in Asia, you consider they believe in multiple hells. So, I mean, whereas the JCI believes in only one hell. So I mean, and then you got the gods that a lot of traditions or some traditions literally believe that each individual has its own subdivision. Think of the nine realms of Norse mythology. Nine gods, whereas this is 13. So there is a lot of things that can play into this. So with that said, I'll keep you up to date on my research and everything into these spirits and my research into the root working over the next 100 days. So until next time, have a good night and until later.